Hey, good morning, brothers. This is Dr. Michael Figures, and it is Monday morning. It's July the 3rd, I believe. And here at the Charlotte Douglas Airport, getting ready to fly to Houston. And man, I'm excited because I just finished my devotion. Just finished spending a little time with the Lord before coming here, and also reading His Word, and also reading a little bit out of my favorite book. And I've told you what that is, and that is the 4-8 Principle by Tommy Newberry. Can you see that? I hope that you can. 4-8 Principle by Tommy Newberry. That's my everyday devotional book. And I just finished reading something, man, that I want to share with you this morning. And actually this morning, I'm not going to do a lot of talking. I'm just going to read it. I'm going to read what I read, man. And it spoke to me so very profoundly. And it's nothing new, something that you haven't heard before, but it's something we need to be reminded of every day, reminded of constantly and often in our lives, so that we can do God's will and have a fun, joy-filled life here while we are on earth. It's going to be a wonderful time when we go to heaven, yes, but while we're here, we still need to have a fulfilling, joyful life. And let me read this to you. It's very simple, but you don't need to walk around feeling guilty when you make mistakes. If you think that you're going to go through this Christian walk and not make mistakes, or go through life, period, and not make mistakes, then you're kind of in delusion. And Tommy Newberry says it this way. I'm just going to read it to you. Okay, stick with me now. It says, practice forgiving yourself regularly and mean it sincerely. Acknowledge your mistakes and accept God's forgiveness. It says, after all, Jesus paid the price, so there is no reason for you to feel guilty beyond the point where you repent. Once you repent, then it's done. If you look in the mirror and are shamed by the reflection that you see, you're sunk before you even get started. Instead of suffocating in past sin, bask in the tranquility and the joy of the Spirit that flows through you when you realize that God has already pardoned you. I love that. Yesterday is in the history books. Yesterday is unchangeable, just like World War II. You can't do anything about it. Today, though, you are making history. This is the paragraph that I like. It says, guilt isn't practical. You can't walk around or sit around all day long feeling bad and guilty about the mistakes that you make. Yes, you want to have some sense of conviction, but you can't stay all day long. You can't stay in that place. It says it forces you to experience the present moment while paralyzed by past mistakes. When you have setbacks or slip up a bit, you aren't any less valuable than you were before you made the mistake. You simply have something to learn from slipping. Make sure you learn it, though. And as learning from the past is much better than reliving the past. Make forgiving yourself a mandatory element in your daily joy ritual. Why? Because you're going to make them. And even if you make one every day, you don't want to do it just haphazardly or arbitrarily. But when you do, you repent for it. You learn from it, you get up and you move on. This is the verse, this is the line that I like. Forget your failures and relive your joys. It's much more fulfilling. That's my boy Tommy Newberry out of Atlanta, Georgia, and he knows this thing about living a fulfilled life, and he does it every day. So likewise, brothers, we're to do the same thing. I'm going to go and catch this plane now, but I wanted to give you an encouraging word. You just remember, you got too much to do for the Lord to sit down and feel guilty and be sunk in depression because you made mistakes. Sometimes there are consequences, and you may make a mistake and you have to, you may lose a little money, you may lose a little time, you may lose an opportunity, but that's okay. You get up, you try it again, you keep on moving, you move forward, because God has too much for you and also too much for you to do to sit and wallow in guilt. Have a blessed week. Enjoy that holiday tomorrow. We'll be back on next Monday to encourage you again, my brothers in the faith, on the Better Man Power Connection. I love you. God bless you. Take care.